In this video, I'm going to give you a track guide of Misano in the McLaren 720S. A good lap time here in this car is about a 1 minute 33. So if you're in the 1 minute 35s, 36s, 37s and beyond, I'm pretty sure you're going to find this very, very, very helpful. It's sort of a beginner's guide to Misano. Now, why is this so important? Well, as you may know, the Logitech McLaren G Challenge is giving away $150,000 worth of prizes in this competition run on ACC. I really hope you've already qualified. If you see my qualifying video, you're in the draw to win the grand prize to meet Lando Norris, and also you're in the right place for doing the Beat My Lap Time section we're going to do, where you have the opportunity to win a Logitech Pro direct drive wheel, Logitech Pro load cell pedals, and there's also a Pro wireless headset as well. So that's absolutely incredible sort of giveaway already. But this is a knockout part of the tournament. The reason why I'm here is the first knockout round of the Logitech McLaren G Challenge is at Misano in the McLaren 720S. So if you've qualified at Brands Hatch, hopefully you're going to find this very helpful. I'm going to demystify Misano so you can go into that first knockout round with confidence. Right, I'm going to go through first in third person behind the gorgeous McLaren 720S. And we're going to start here with the last corner opening onto the straight. Now, this isn't going to be an absolutely razor edge track guide. This is going to be a sort of familiarization guide, a guide to help you get to those 1 minute 33s. But I'm going to be showing you the basics. I'm not going to miss any of the basic stuff here. So, braking, I would say around here, I go down to second gear in the McLaren, starting nice and wide. And we really want to cut as much of this corner as possible. You can see the rubbered curbs here on the inside. Don't try and hit that sort of curb on the inside, because that will sort of bounce the car a little bit, also going over this lip. But using as much of this curb as possible, second gear, then up to third quite quickly. You can go quite wide on the exit here, so you can run wide without getting track limit. Try not to go too wide, although if in a pinch in the race you need to, you can go all the way around here. You will get a track limit warning, but it's worth doing that to conserve the momentum in the race. But obviously in qualifying, don't do that. It will invalidate your lap. Now, the first part of Misano, if you're watching this and you're like, Misano's a bit weird, I totally get it. Misano is a weird circuit. It's sort of, you have to use all of the curbs. You have to cut a lot of the corners. A lot of the corners are really, really, really awkward. So we're braking around here in the McLaren. Again, I think going down to second gear. Now, when you can visualize this properly, this whole section makes sense. Before you can visualize it, this is so painful. But the way to do it is, you want to come in here, go down the gears, and you want to be, this is almost like Ascari at Monza, but the other way around. You want to be as close to these sausage curbs as possible. So we're going to be all the way over here, really close sausages, and we want to be staying near the right hand side, right to middle of the track. You don't want to be on the left hand side there. That's going to make the next bit really painful. Because if you stay here on the right hand side, sacrifice a little bit of speed, make sure we come back over, it really opens up this left hander, and it's the same principle. We want to get over these curbs on the inside, see where it's all rubbered in, get close to the sausages, and that's going to open up this next right hander. This is a tricky one. So now, because of that hard work we've done earlier, we're in this sort of position. If you haven't done that hard work, you're going to be on the right hand side, and you're going to make that right hander just frankly impossible. So here we're opening it up. Now you see the rubber is actually on the tarmac here, but a lot of the time it's just really beneficial to cut this corner, especially in qualifying. So cut that as much as possible. In a race, just beware, if your tyre pressures are too high, you can end up really on the left hand side there, but in qualifying it should be okay. And now this section here, 3 corners coming up that are really, really, really fiendish. Really fiendish. So we're braking around the 50. I go down to first gear here. It's going to be a double right. Have a look at the map in the left hand side here. So double right. We're going to treat it as one corner. Now I really want to make sure that when you're going down to first gear, you're getting over this curb here. Do not miss this curb. Get over this curb. We're sacrificing the speed. And then you want to end up quite wide here, with at least one wheel open. Now if you're here, you're going to be giving yourself a nice opportunity to gain the speed onto the straight that's coming up. If you're too much on the right hand side, or you've overshot and you end up here, it's going to be too tight. So we're going to be turning in a little bit earlier. We'll be turning in a little bit back there, and we're going to completely cut this corner. You can play really fast and with track limits there, and that means that we're going to end up on this side of the track. You don't want to be on the left hand side here, and this, you have to lift here. In the 720S, you really have to lift. So a little bit of a lift, and we're going to cut a lot of this curb as well. And what that's going to mean is we're accelerating all the way. We're not going to end up over these sausage curbs. These yellow and black sausage curbs are really savage. You go over those, it will bounce the car. You will get a track limit. So try and keep it around here, and then you can just run all the way down this straight. That's a really painful and fiddly part of Misano, and it's gradually going to open up now. So you have to get through that really twisty sector 1, and then it opens up. It's a little bit like the Nürburgring, like that Nürburgring GP layout. Now here, this left-hander, this is really a tight hairpin. Have a look at the track map. So we're braking around here, and we're going to try and not go too deep into the corner. You don't want to be anywhere near the outside. So we'll be coming in, trail braking, getting off the brake, turning more, and apexing around here. See, I've got a Mercedes behind us. Apexing around here. If you're on the outside, I see a lot of people on the outside, you're going to be losing way too much time. Way too much time. So stay on the inside, and obviously you can get on the power here nice and early because it's quite a gentle exit. Here we go. Now running down here, now this is a bit of deja vu. We have two kind of a double right again, but this isn't as tight. We don't have that tight left-hander coming after it. This is going to go on to the longest straight at Misano. So double right-hander here. Again, we're going to treat it like one. So you come in here and you start braking early, and you really have to feel the brakes here because you want to try and pivot onto a late apex with this right-hander. So we're here, and we're going to pivot, and this is absolutely critical. If you end up by here, by the way, on the left-hand side, you've gone too deep and you're going to sacrifice so much speed. So we're apexing, I would say, around here, sort of on the curb, and that means we can now visualize the exit all the way of the longest straight. So flat. You don't want to be lifting again in your exit. Flat. Now what is coming up is some of the most thrilling corners in motorsport. These are my favorite corners at Misano, the third one especially, but it's very thrilling. Misano feels like a sort of compact circuit, so even though this is quite a long straight, there's a series of corners in it. Now this first corner here, absolutely flat. It's quite easy, you don't need to worry about it. Don't even need to cut it too much, absolutely flat. Now the second corner, that doesn't look flat, but that is flat as well. So we're going to be flat for this corner. You want to be more aware about cutting this one because we're carrying more and more speed. Now around, I would say about here, you want to be getting on the brakes and again pivoting the car. I love this corner. Pivoting the car, trying to get the back to come out so you can carry the speed, rotate the car, and end up pointing in the right direction. Some people go very deep in left to side, don't want to do that. End up around here, and this is a tricky corner. This is a very late apex, tight corner. So you're coming in here, we're going to be on the brakes, and then we want to apex around here because it's such a tight exit. You will inevitably, by the way, end up over here because of the amount of speed you're trying to carry through. The left-hander here is just the slightest of lifts. See, the AMG is going to catch us. The slightest lift. If you get a wheel on the green here, that can be quite helpful. But then a little tiny lift here. Get on the inside and let the AMG actually go. Get on the inside, and then you will end up normally running at least a wheel on this curb here, trying to carry the speed. And then it's the last corner. We'll do it again just to make sure. So we're braking around here, trying to get really into this dip. Very satisfying corner, by the way. And that is the fundamentals of Misano. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a lap at a full pace. I'm still going to talk about it so you can see exactly what it looks like at full pace. And by the way, if you're liking this, please subscribe. It would make my day. And don't forget about Logitech McLaren G Challenge. There's links in the description. This is the first knockout round. You really want to be involved in this if you've got ACC on PC. Right, let's go. Right, here we go. Let's put it into practice. Down to second gear here for the final corner. So an open multiplayer qualifying session. I've got a full fuel. It's not a setup or anything. It's not going to be very fast. But let's see if we can actually just do the lap. So turning in here, close those sausages down to second gear or first gear even. Accelerating out, opening it up, and then turning in nice and early. And here's a double right-hander. Don't want to outbrake ourselves. We're going to go down to first gear. Get nice and tight on the inside and just power out. Early upshift I find helps. See the lifts there. Probably could have done one better like lift rather than two short stabs. Into the hairpin now. Don't want to outbrake yourself. We're going to brake around here. Pivot it here, and then you can get on the power nice and early. Again here, double right-handed, but we're going to treat it as one, and we're going to try and pivot the car. All about the exit. I think Apex are a little bit early and lost too much speed, but the concept was all right. See what position we can get in this session. So 2 flat corners now. First one absolutely flat. Second one absolutely flat. Then we're going to pivot the car. Nice. Don't outbrake yourself here, it's tempting. And don't apex too early either. To the left. To the right. Just a little lift. Down second gear for the exit. See what a tight line that guy took and how much we've gained on him. So I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a 37 dead basically, which is going to put us on pole here. So yeah, I think a decent... It's a lap that will do for the qualifying in the knockout basically. So I really hope you find that helpful. Really, really hope you did. This is sort of an introduction to Misano if you're new. Make sure to check out Logitech McLaren G Challenge, links in the description below. Make sure you join that, make sure you qualify. It's going to be your best ever chance to win a direct drive wheel and load cell pedals for sure. And then you've also got the massive prize to win the Lando $150,000 worth of prizes. So make sure you do that. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you want to be part of the Beat My Lap Time Challenge. But I really hope you enjoyed that. It's been fun to do. Misano, very tricky circuit, but hopefully I've demystified it a little bit for you. That would be really cool. I'll see you next time.